All right. I want to say good day, everyone. This is another live session. This is another school of poultry. And welcome, Chioma. Welcome, everyone who is online. I need to put this phone right now on silence or even offline. Okay. So we are here to discuss the subject vaccination in poultry. So, and if you're already excited about this topic, I want you to just click the like button right away and let me see your comments rolling in. I believe everyone can hear me clearly. Okay, so we're talking about a topic that says vaccination in poultry, and that's a very critical thing to talk about. As a matter of fact, the success of your poultry, if you are of course going to vaccinate your birds against diseases, depends largely on this topic, on your understanding of this topic. The man that says, oh, all my chicks or all my chickens just died overnight, and the other farmer just looking at him, I think the difference is probably how they vaccinated their chickens. Okay, so vaccination plays a key role in the success of your poultry business. So you can see even during the pandemic, everyone was running up and down, and we were all waiting for this almighty vaccine to just come. And after taking the vaccine, we believe everyone is going to be fine. At least most of the population believe that everyone is going to be fine with the shots. Okay, so I got my own shots too. I got two shots. I think the first one got me down a little, but then I got fine. Okay, so vaccination plays a key role in the success of your poultry business, especially those who are not practicing organic poultry. Okay, so I want to believe that I want to believe you are hearing me clearly. So all right, so let me just put up the slide right now. Okay, it plays a key role in the success of your poultry business. And I want to assure you that if you can understand everything I'm going to be sharing tonight, then you'll be able to now practice the kind of vaccination that works, the kind that will not lead to mortality, the kind that after doing it, you can say, okay, of course, these birds are protected from this disease and this disease and this disease. You can also teach your farm workers how to practice effective vaccination after taking this. This is more like a course that I'm just giving to you for free. So this is something that you would pay thousands of naira and a couple of dollars to get. So I'm going to be giving you for free, and I can assure you that if you listen and you get it right here, you are not going to have any problem with vaccination ever again. Okay, so let's just dive in. Let's just dive in. No time to waste at all. All right. So, what then is vaccination in poultry? What is vaccination in poultry? I think it's the method of disease prevention. Of course, we want to do a lot of things to prevent diseases, but this is one method of disease prevention that is involving the introduction of, take note of this word, altered form of a pathogenic organism, be it virus, bacteria, protozoa. Of course, we have virus vaccines. We have vaccines that protect against bacterial diseases. Even though most people don't take such vaccines, most people don't give their birds such vaccines. And then we have the protozoa and several others, okay, or a couple of others. So with the purpose of stimulating an immune response in live animals. Yeah, and now we are focusing on poultry. Our focus is poultry. So the goal is to stimulate an immune response. So I'm still going to split it down. Maybe I'm speaking some grammar, but they are essential actually. So the immune response is your body's ability to fight diseases. That's what we call immune response. The immunity in your body, the antibodies, maybe the antibody is just part of the immune system. So the role of the immunity is to kick out everything that is not of the body, is to fight it, to identify it, and to fight it. So vaccination is one way that takes advantage of that immune system in your body and tells the body, okay, this one that we are bringing in is your enemy. Learn to fight it. That is just what vaccination is. So it's a method of disease prevention that involves the introduction of altered form of a pathogenic organism. with the purpose of stimulating an immune response in live animals. And isn't that beautiful? Yeah, don't worry, by the time I get to explain it even further, you understand it and you know the do's and don'ts of vaccination in poultry. All right, so we have two major forms of vaccines. We have the live vaccines and we have the killed or inactivated vaccines. The live and the killed or inactivated vaccines. And the difference is simple. The live vaccines are just live organisms. Yes, that organism that causes the disease, yeah, is what they are bringing and putting into your chicken. So that's live vaccine. However, it has been suppressed, it has been weakened. It has been weakened to the point that it should not cause a disease. However, it is able to stimulate an immune response. I'm still going to explain this in a very simple manner. So let's just follow me. And before the end of this live session, I'll be giving out a gift. Yeah, a powerful gift actually. I'm going to be allowing maybe 1, 2, or 3 persons into my organic poultry course for free. Yeah, so you want to ensure that you stick with me as we proceed. So that's the live vaccine. And now the killed or inactivated vaccine. Yeah, the killed or inactivated vaccine. That is still the organism that causes the disease in your chickens. But this time it has been killed or inactivated. Listen, when we say it has been inactivated, that part is more like, the work that scientists do is actually really good. It's really good. They do good work. So I'm holding this, I think this is a card reader and this is an adapter. So I'm just going to use this to explain what I'm trying to say for the inactivated vaccine. So for the inactivated vaccine, that organism, let's say this is the organism that causes the disease. This thing I'm holding is the organism that causes the disease. So what they do is they remove the part of it that can cause the disease, that can take down your animal, that can weaken or destroy your animal, your chicken now. They remove it. Let's say this is the part that can destroy your chicken, they remove it. But this is the part that can stimulate the immune response. This is the part that can tell your chicken, yes, this is Mr. Hay. Let's say Mr. Hay is the disease pathogen. This is the part that will tell your animal, your chicken's antibody, your chicken's immune system that, okay, this is Mr. A. It is bad. It's your enemy. You should know it. But this part is not able to cause the disease in your animal. This is the part that can cause the disease. Again, they have removed that part that can cause the disease. That's why it's called the killed or inactivated vaccine. So that vaccine can actually tell your chicken, yeah, I'm a bad guy. I'm coming into you and you should learn to destroy me in the future. So it will not kill the chicken. It will not weaken the chicken. It will not make them weak at all. But then it will inform the chicken that this is your enemy. Once you encounter it later in your life, learn to fight it. So the chicken now develops a mechanism, a particular mechanism to destroy that organism. You and I know for sure that if you pour salt, sodium chloride, you pour it on heartworm, the heartworm is going to die. So let's say is what that is what the immune system of your chicken used in killing this virus. Let's say it's a virus now, but we have removed the part that can kill the chicken. So it's a virus. So let's say pouring salt on heartworm is like a mechanism that your chicken used to destroy that pathogen when it was introduced through the vaccine. Then your chicken's immune system has learned the identity of this pathogen, and it has learned that, okay, pouring salt on heartworm or this particular mechanism, maybe withdrawing vitamin B for a while or doing this in the bodies, the methods or mechanisms that you may not really know, is the way that I killed it. So in the future, when the chicken now encounters this in the wild, it does not need to bother itself that much. It just goes straight to carrying the salt and pouring on the heartworm or activating that particular mechanism that it used to destroy this organism. So that's what vaccines actually do. But we're still going to dive in and I'm going to say things that actually matter. You start to notice why your chickens die. You start to notice why, oh, no wonder. Yeah, that's what you begin to say after now. So let's just continue in this session. All right, so we have factors that are actually affecting the vaccine efficiency or efficacy, whatsoever you may call it. We have factors that affect how effective the vaccine is. Of course, it's possible for 10 farms or even you, one farmer, to administer vaccine in 10 pens, and it doesn't just work effectively in the same way. It doesn't work in the same level uh, among the flocks. So there are factors that actually affect the efficiency of a vaccine, and that's what we want to consider quickly. I'm also going to dive deep into those points that you can see so that you get to understand it in details. All right. So the health status of the chickens, the health status of the chickens, and this is why we don't worry, we'll go deeper into that. The health status of the chickens, the weather, then the passive immunity. That this is what the chickens inherit from the parent, which is the hen. That is why it is important. The health status of the parent stock also determines the performance of your chicks most of the time. So passive immunity, vaccine handling during the cold storage. How do you handle the vaccine? Don't worry, we'll talk about that, and I'll show you exactly the perfect way to store your vaccine. All right. So, and another thing is stress. These are the factors that can affect the vaccine efficiency. So now let's dive deeper into them. Let's dive deeper into them. All right. So let's quickly talk about the health status of your chickens. Are they healthy? Is the health good or is the health bad? Sometimes people don't even know that they should vaccinate, or maybe they are postponing the day of vaccination, and until they now see a particular disease and they're like, oh, I forgot to give this thing, or I've forgotten to give Newcastle disease vaccine, I've forgotten to give this and that. So now you need to watch and listen carefully so that you know the right time to give vaccines to your chicken. So I want to say welcome everyone that has joined. Thank you for joining. And we're going to get into the question and answer. But don't forget, I have a gift for 1, 2, or 3 persons before the end of the session. All right, so let's quickly talk about the health status of your chicken. Only if you have not forgotten what I said earlier about what a vaccine is, now, only healthy chickens can generate the kind of immune response that is required to produce immunization, protection against a disease pathogen. Only healthy chickens, only chickens that are healthy, chickens that are not sick, chickens that are not down with coccidiosis, chickens that are not down with what do they call it now? Salmonella or salmonellosis, chickens that are not down with chronic respiratory disease. It takes only those chickens to generate the kind of immune response, to inform the antibodies in the system, to inform this. It takes healthy chickens to generate that immune response that can, produce the immunization that you need against a particular disease. That is why we say don't vaccinate sick chickens. It's not because we just want to say that. It's because it takes healthy chickens to do the work that is needed when a vaccine is introduced into their system. So once you are inducing a vaccine, it means that the chickens must be healthy. If they are not, the vaccine, especially live vaccines now, don't forget the difference between live and inactivated vaccines, especially live vaccines, because it's going to stress them. It's a foreign body, and the body is going to work at its maximum capacity to try to bring it down. So don't vaccinate sick chickens. It is bad. It's a bad practice. And if you do that, well, you may get away with it, but most of the time it's going to ruin the experience. Probably your birds have been eating the target weight that they should eat per week. Once you introduce vaccine at the point when they are sick, you may not be able to meet up your target weight again. That is if you don't even get to lose most of your birds. All right, so never vaccinate sick chickens just because of this reason. And weather. Sometimes, I said one of the reasons why I'm doing this school of poultry is to educate farmers and help them to understand why, to understand the why. Why are people saying it's better to vaccinate in the morning? Can't I just do it in the afternoon? Of course, the birds are always jumping around in the afternoon. Why can't I just give them the vaccine in the afternoon? There's a reason for that. There's a reason, and it is critical. Weather is very critical to the efficiency of your vaccine. So the weather can affect the immune response of chickens. So you need to watch out when you want to vaccinate your chickens. It is better to do so in the cool of the day. Hot weather generally would mean that your chickens are already stressed and they are trying to cool off. So hot weather will affect the immune response that they can generate at that time. So it is better to always administer your vaccines, preferably early in the morning before sunrise. And if you need to go far to get your vaccine, it's better to get it earlier. You get it in maybe the previous day. And I'm still going to tell you how to store it and not to get it inactive. So it is only advisable that you vaccinate your chickens in the morning or maybe in the evening. However, if it is in the evening, it has to be when they have been able to stay after sunset. They have been able to stay for a couple of hours to cool off. I know most of the workers tend to leave the farm in the evening. That's why most people do it in the morning. But if you have the time to vaccinate later in the evening, in the night maybe, because you need about 3 hours after sunset to allow if it is broilers especially, you need about 3 hours to allow them cool off after the hot weather. All right, so morning is actually very preferable, and if you want to do it in the evening, it has to be after 3 hours after sunset. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next one, and that is passive immunity. This one is going to shock most of you. Yeah, this one is going to surprise you. When the chicks hatch from the egg, there are a lot of things that come from the mother, from the hen. There's a lot of things that they tend to inherit from them, and one of it is immunity. One of it is the antibodies. Yeah, that's the word. The antibodies, the maternal antibodies. They tend to inherit that a lot. That's ability to inherit from the hen or get some things passed from the hen into the eggs and then into the chicks that are hatched is one of the reasons why I said CRD most of the times come from the hatchery, because diseases like mycoplasma caused CRD can be transferred from the hen into the eggs. And if the eggs are not hatched under a specific and special technique, the hen will pass it effectively into the egg, and then from the egg, the CRD will move into the chick. So the CRD or the mycoplasma will just be waiting for stress before it will surface and begin to trouble your chicks. Okay, so let's move to the point. Passive immunity, inherited immunity, which is in form of maternal antibodies. So most of the time in the young stage of the chicks is usually high. Yeah, it is high. And when it is high, if you vaccinate your chicks during that time, being high should be a plus, of course. It should be an advantage. Yeah, they are gaining antibodies which is supposed to fight diseases from the mother end. But if it is high and you begin to vaccinate your chicks, the eye or the two eye antibodies will kill the vaccine without the vaccine being able to do its work. The work of the chick's immune system recognizing that vaccine, recognizing that pathogen, and fighting it, being able to fight it in the future. Now it is the maternal antibody that will be doing the work. And then the immune system of the chick is not even starting to develop properly then. So it's just a maternal antibody that is too high that will quickly destroy the vaccine, and the vaccine will not even be able to generate the immune response that is needed. And this is why when you are handling large number of flocks, large number of birds, it is advisable that you take samples to the lab and test. So then they will be able to check the antibody titer of the chicks, and they'll be able to tell you, okay, this is the particular vaccination program you should follow. The vet that's the experienced one that actually decide based on laboratory results, can advise you specially on the kind of program to follow. And in the real sense, it's actually supposed to come from the hatchery, but sometimes you may not be able to get it from the hatchery, maybe because you got your chicks from the vendor or so. But if you are getting large number of birds anyway, even if the vendor is trying to help you, they should be able to provide you with a vaccination schedule to work with. So that schedule will be based on the tested chicks from the hatchery. The hatchery is the best to produce this, to provide this when you are getting your chicks from them. So based on the chicks that they have sampled and tested, they'll be able to read the antibodies or the maternal antibodies in them and be able to recommend the perfect timing for your vaccination. So that is what we call passive immunity. There's a level of immunity that comes from the hen into the chicks, and it's supposed to be an advantage if you follow the right vaccination schedule. In the first few days, they will just be basking in glory, no disease will be able to take them down because the maternal antibodies are actually doing their job. All right, so let's move on to the next one, which is stress. And I kind of touched on this when I was talking about the weather. So stress has a direct effect on the immune system of chickens. Yeah, and you want to understand that stress is able to bring down the immunity of your chickens. The immune system generally responds to stress. When you are stressed, the immune system is low. Even in humans, you see, most people have flu when they are stressed themselves, and flu is kind of an indication that your immune system is low. So they say go take vitamin C. Vitamin C is actually an immune booster, and it's also an anti-stress. So you cannot so separate stress and immunity. Stress and immunity, if one is up, the other is down. If immunity is up, stress is down. If stress is up, immunity is down. So that's how it goes. So you want to make sure that your birds are not stressed when you are vaccinating. How does this affect you? Sometimes you tend to change the litter of your chickens. Don't dare vaccinate them after changing the litter. Sometimes in raising pullets, which I'm going to be doing very soon, I'm going to be showing you guys how to raise pullets, that's layers, from day old to maturity. I'm actually preparing to start that, and I'm going to be showing you step by step from week to week how we start from chick stage to the point when they will be laying the maximum. So let's see the maximum that we can get. All right, so stress is something you want to avoid. Maybe you just perform debeaking, and then the following day or maybe 2 days after that, you start to give them vaccines. No, it's not done. If you do that, you're going to be inducing so much stress, and it may compromise their immunity. So you can see the subject of vaccine, you need to understand it before you can just jump at any vaccination schedule. Not all vaccination schedule will just work for you. Sometimes you need to alter it based on what you're experiencing on your farm. If you did not send your workers to pack the litter when you are planning to vaccinate them, maybe tomorrow or next, and you did not send them to pack the litter, and they just did, maybe because rain fell and entered the pen and they packed the litter, you don't say, okay, because your vaccination schedule says on this date you must vaccinate, and you just go ahead with vaccination. No, it's going to be detrimental. So what is most important is that you read the chicks, you check the activities on the farm, then you check if the vaccination schedule or program will still work based on what you're experiencing on your farm. All right, so that's that about stress. It's important that you check whether the chicks are stressed before you just proceed to vaccinate. All right, wow. So we have just run down on the factors that affect vaccination, the efficiency of your vaccines. And there's one thing I would like to say. Yeah, sometimes, or it is important most times actually, that after the first, maybe the first Gumboro vaccine, which is popularly given, the Lasuta vaccine, after the first one, when you are doing the repeat dose, make sure and ensure make sure and ensure that you have taken care of coccidiosis and chronic respiratory disease, especially in broilers now. Make sure that before you repeat the Lasota and the Gumboro, make sure that you have given treatment or preventive treatment if there's no sign yet. Even if you have not seen the sign, make sure that you have given the preventive treatment for both coccidiosis and chronic respiratory disease. Because after the first one, before the second one is the time that most people tend to experience or combat these diseases. And sometimes it's incubating. What I mean by incubating is the organism that causes it is in the system of the birds already, but it's still like coming out. It's still trying to come out. Just like they say, it takes about 2 weeks for the coronavirus to come out. That's why they isolate people for 14 days after traveling into the country. So that is the incubation period. 2 weeks, 14 days is the incubation period. From the moment when the organism or the pathogen enters into the system of the chicken to the point where the signs begin to show is the incubation period. So you may not be able to see any sign during that incubation period. So it's important that you give preventive doses of coccidiosis treatment and chronic respiratory disease treatment, especially in broilers. But even in layers, compulsorily try to give the coccidiosis treatment, maybe preventive doses, before you do the second Lasota and Gumboro. You don't have to give before Lasota and then give before Gumboro. Just make sure that before you give the second Lasota and Gumboro, you give the coccidiosis treatment before the two, not before Lasota and before the Gumboro. No, just before you start giving the second dose of the two. All right, so it's important. I want you to take that as something that is just necessary. It is important. Every time you are raising your birds, try to do this. If you do this, you should not run into problems because you don't know. You don't know what is coming. And if you vaccinate a disease or a chicken that is already incubating the disease, the immunity is already going low. It's already being suppressed by the disease pathogen. So if you just vaccinate without knowing, then you may just say, oh, I gave vaccine yesterday, and all of them started to die a day after. That's, for the most part, that's the reason. That's the reason. Did I talk about, okay, I didn't talk about the cold storage. Yeah, I think I skipped that. I skipped that. Okay, vaccine handling. Yeah, it's here. Okay, vaccine handling. So before we go into the question and answer, vaccine handling, most vaccines are stored between 2 degrees C, 2 degrees centigrade or Celsius, to 8 degrees Celsius. I want you to note that. And that is why, even though when you go to buy your vaccine, you see them dipping their hands inside the freezer to bring out the vaccine and then the ice pack. But the vaccine is not supposed to be stored in the freezer. Most of the people that store them in the freezer, they only store them on the rack, which does not have the same temperature as the base of the freezer. This is very key and this is very technical. Most people have killed the vaccine. Most people have destroyed the vaccine just because they stored them wrongly. When you have a farm, most of the time you have the farm in a remote area and you don't even get easy access to vaccines, and you need to get vaccines from the city. You get to your farm, maybe you use generator and you power your freezer, and then you just throw your vaccine inside the freezer. Make sure that if at all you are storing it in the freezer, you store it on the rack, on those things like basket. You store it on the rack. And even on the rack, I don't think you should turn the freezer. Most of these freezers have regulator. You can increase the coldness and you can decrease it. So I don't think you should turn it to the highest. However, if you want to do that, you must have tested the temperature of the rack area. If you test the temperature of the rack area, I did a video where I tested if you can store vaccines in the fridge or in the freezer. And we actually found that you can store it safely in the fridge, but if you're going to store it in the freezer, for example, when I used my higher thermocool freezer to test, it can only stay on the door. If you take it inside, it's going to drop lower than 2 degrees Celsius, and that's going to destroy your vaccine. But if you store it on the door, it's safe. I think when I stored it on the door, I can't remember, maybe about over 2 degrees. Over 2 degrees. Between 2 and 8 is the right degree to store it. So if you have anything over 2 and anything up to 8 or less than 8, is perfect. If it is above 8, then it's not cold enough. If it is below 2, it is too cold. So this is a key thing. This is like a it's like a tip that you must not joke with. If you know this, then you have become a pro already in vaccination. All right. So don't forget, when you are handling your vaccine, when we were taught back then in school, the professor who handled that topic was like, vaccine is not something that you send people to buy, and when they buy it, they see their old friend on the way and they start to gist, oh, this and that. No, once you purchase your vaccine and you are given the ice pack, you rush down to where where you are going, the farm, to store it in a safe whether in a safe storage, maybe the freezer, or there's this particular vaccine cooler, vaccine box. So I got one of that, and that can actually hold your vaccine for as long as, I think, 36 to 40 hours, and that's perfect. If you don't have freezers in your on your farm, or maybe you don't have power, you have freezer but you don't have power, and you're buying the vaccine from far away, you are going to be using it the following day. Just try to get that kind of vaccine box. I wish I had the picture here. It's a vaccine box, mostly it's blue in color, so it has storage for ice pack, and once you put your vaccine in there and cover it with the foam and the lid, it can stay there for up to minimum of maybe 24 hours at least. They say 40 hours, but most of these things may not be as effective as advertised. So try as much as possible to use it within 24 hours. So if you buy it this evening and you store it overnight, it's just perfect. It's better than the regular flask. Okay, so I think we have touched on everything now: passive immunity, weather, health status of the chicken, and then stress. Okay, what we had earlier, yes, health status, weather, passive immunity, vaccine handling, and stress. I think we have touched on all of these. All right, so I want to believe that you guys are enjoying the session, and you must have learned something new today. And we are still going to be touching on a lot of things in the question and answer session, which we are beginning very soon. So if you know that you have enjoyed the stream so far, I would like you to click the like button. And if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, if maybe you just stumbled on the channel for the first time, this is DIY Agric, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. So my entire YouTube channel is dedicated to providing you with videos that will teach you and educate you, help you to be successful in poultry farming. Okay, and this particular part of the channel is my way of giving back to the community. This is the School of Poultry. I get to teach you things that you might have known, but you may not even know why you do some of these things. So this is where you learn it all. So over to the question and answer session, and let's have a good time together. It's question and answer now. Let's have a good time. I'll start taking your questions now. Thank you all for joining. Okay. So which question are we taking first? Okay, this person is asking, how can I remove pox in my turkey because the pox has turned black? Okay, if the pox has turned black, it's most likely, it depends. If everything is turning black, it's most likely that the turkey is healing already, but you still need to also check the mouth of the turkey to be sure that it is not wet pox, or it is not combined with wet pox. There's dry pox, there's wet pox. The dry pox is the one that it's more like it bewitched them outside, makes their face and the neck region, especially if it's turkey. The neck of the turkey is bare, there's no feather there, so it might have that noodle like structure, or yeah, those nodes there. So you want to check if it is wet or dry pox. The wet pox is usually in the mouth of the turkey. So I don't think you really need to remove it if it is all turned black. It's just gonna dry and fall off. Maybe you have given any treatment, so it's gonna dry and fall off. However, if it is not dry inside, maybe the outer part is just black, but you can still see new developments, then you need to treat. That's the way to go about it. It is only when you are treating it or handling it naturally or organically that you may have to scrape it and then apply what you need to apply topically. Yeah. So I don't think you need to do anything if you have already applied treatment and you believe it is drying off. All right. So thank you for joining from South Africa, teacher Muyo. Okay, I don't want to pronounce the other name so that I don't break my teeth. All right. So Godwin, Michael, thank you for joining. Ooh, Adunolami, thank you for joining. Yeah. All right. Who else is there? Yeah, I think when we talked about factors that affect the efficacy of your vaccine, I think we have touched on the things that can also cause vaccine failure in a way. The vaccine handling can cause it to fail. It's just the same. If it is not effective, then it has failed. So all of the things that I listed, the maternal antibody, maybe you vaccinated too early. So it can cause it to fail. The weather can cause it to fail. Maybe you vaccinated around 11 when the weather is so hot and the chickens are stressed already, or maybe you vaccinated after a particular stressful practice. Maybe you just changed the litter or you just debeaked your chicken, So you don't want to vaccinate them when they are stressed. You don't want to vaccinate them when the weather is hot. You don't want to vaccinate them too early. You want to follow a recommended vaccination program. So, and you don't want to carry your vaccines and start gisting with your friend until the vaccine is out of the cold storage, the cold chain. So all these actually affect vaccine or may cause vaccine failure if you don't do it right. All right. Yeah. Maybe I didn't mention this. Thank you, Mr. David. Um, you say you administer multivitamin to your birds after vaccination. Is it a good practice? Actually, it's a great practice, and it is good you do it before and after. You know, when you do it before, you are more like strengthening their immune system. Don't forget I mentioned that vitamin C, for example, has a direct impact on the immunity or immune system of your chickens. So when you give multivitamins, it also has vitamin C and it's going to help them. And apart from vitamin C, all other or a lot of other vitamins actually strengthen the immunity of your chickens that we may not be able to mention. So it's good to actually do it. Preferably, you can do it 2 days before, but on the day of vaccination, yeah, I'm still going to touch on something quickly before we end. On the day of vaccination, you make sure or you ensure that you don't put multivitamins, both before and after. On that day, it has to be ordinary or plain water throughout. And there's one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is your drinkers that you're using to vaccinate. Your drinkers, you need to make sure that you do not, I repeat, you do not wash them with detergents. You do not wash them with any chlorine soap, any soap that has trace of chlorine, and most of the cleaning agents have a trace of chlorine in them. So do not wash them with soap on that day. Just wash with ordinary water and that will be fine. You don't need to be too clean that day because it's going to kill the vaccine if you're not careful. It's going to kill the vaccine. The chlorine is able to bond with the container. Most of these drinkers are plastic, so chlorine is able to bond to the walls of the container, and even after you think you have rinsed, it's still bonding. So when you introduce the vaccine, it's just released into the vaccine and it's killing the vaccine. So it's not a good practice to wash with soap on the day you are vaccinating. All right. Okay, let me quickly help this fellow. Thank you, Musa. My 5 weeks cockerel have pox. I've given pox care for 3 days now. Is there any other thing I need to do? I don't know how severe it is, but I found quercetin to work perfectly. Quercetin works great. I'm going to type the name on the screen right now. Let me see how I can quickly do that. Okay, it says quercetin. It works perfectly. I found it to work good, so you can just adopt that. So that's the name on the screen, Kersilin. You can try that, and I believe it should work. It should work for them. It should work for them. I practice organic poultry most of the time, and for a few cockroaches, I sold most of the cockroaches that I had, so I left about 5 that I wanted to, enjoy during December. So the ones that I have, I think I was seeing a sign of pox, but I did not even pay attention to it because of the herbs and spices that I was giving them. I think that thing just disappeared on its own. So blessings to everyone practicing organic poultry farming, and as many that have been want to join the course. I have a course that teaches you and makes you a pro on organic poultry, so you may want to join the course. If you want to join the course, just send a message to the number on the screen, and you'll be able to join the course. You'll be able to join the course. Okay, so I'll take another question right away. Okay, I'll quickly talk about this. Don't forget, the number on the screen is what you should send a WhatsApp message to if you're interested in my organic poultry course. It's a course that educates you on the nitty-gritty of organic poultry. You don't just, it's not about, okay, hearing that garlic works for a number of diseases, or knowing that aloe vera is good. I can actually right here tell you a couple of herbs and spices that work great. But what is important is the mixing formula. The mixing formula, the do's and don'ts. This is where people mix it. They mix it up and it backfire. So just try to enroll for the course and you will be a pro. All right. So can you help with a proper vaccination schedule for broilers? As much as I feel like, oh, just giving you the right vaccination program, the things that I've just taught you simply tells me not to do so, because giving you may not be all that you need. Sometimes you need specific vaccination program for a particular batch of chicken. So the best way is to actually sample them, take them to the lab, check the maternal antibody, check their record, and know they they can just prescribe the perfect schedule for them. However, if you still insist that you want a vaccination schedule, you can send me a WhatsApp message after this. Just request for it. Please don't say I, because if you say hi, that is not clear enough. I have a couple of messages to attend to, so I may not be able to start that conversation. So let's try and be elaborate when we are sending messages, because I have to attend to you guys and I still have to live my life as Okoyemi. Okay, so just try and be detailed in your request. Just say, okay, I talked about the vaccination schedule on the live stream. Just let me know what you need immediately. You are contacting me. Don't just say I or hello. Okay, so let's take another one, and probably you will also learn from the next question. Okay. This person is not asking about chicken. Oh my god. The person is asking about ruminants. Okay, so should I answer this? Should I answer this? Okay, yeah. Abdurrahman, please, what can I give to my ram which I bought from the north before feeding it with grasses in the southwest? Yes, sir. Okay, I hope this is not for the Salah festival. If it is for the Salah, I don't think you need to give anything. Just go kill the ram, man. Okay. So, but if it is not for Salah, let's just answer the question. Okay, most of the time, the most important actually, or what you can simply do if you are not a vet, is to call a vet. You'll be surprised. Why is DIY directing me to a vet? Okay. I think the best thing to do actually is to call somebody who is in that field, who can tell you. Because sometimes, this is why I'm saying so, sometimes region matters, your area matters. People who are doing it in that area know the prevalent or the endemic diseases in that area. When I say endemic, there are some diseases that are peculiar to a particular area. So they can quickly tell you, okay, do this, put this and this. It is because you want to prevent some diseases from taking them down, because you are bringing them from another zone into a fresh zone, and they are not both familiar with the environment itself as well as even the grass you want to start giving them. So it is important that you learn from those who have mastered the act in your region. However, there's what we call long acting, LA, acting antibiotics is actually good when you just bring in your ram from the north, most especially. You just give them long acting, and it should prevent them against most of the bacterial diseases they may encounter in the environment. So I think that should help you, even though we are not talking about poultry, but that's a bonus. That's a bonus. All right. Oh, this person is already saying thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for answering my question comprehensively. I gain a lot more clarification on vaccine administration tonight. Yeah, that's what we stand to give you, and just keep joining. You become a pro. You become a pro. All right. So, any other question we have here? Yeah, I'm going to have to apologize to you. Mr. Okwemi, I've sent you so many messages on WhatsApp and you have not responded to any. I'm so sorry. Sometimes, and I don't know when you did this, because I just changed my phone. I just got a new phone. The other phone got bad. The screen got bad. So all the messages I got during that time, I was not able to answer them. And I used to do backup. Of course, I used a lot of data, so that should not be an excuse for me to not do backup. But surprisingly, I was unable to move all my messages to this new phone. So I lost all messages, and I wouldn't know who sent me message or messages before I got this new phone. So it may be during that time, which is around, it's less than a month, about 3 weeks ago or so. Yeah, I think 3 Mondays ago, not sure, that I got the new phone, and the same day was when the other phone stopped working. Before then, it had been messing up. I could not chat as much as I wanted. So that may be the reason. And if you sent it maybe recently, maybe your message just went down, the number of messages that I get, and sometimes we are not able to keep up. And I'm so sorry. So what you can do is just send me another message, a reminder message, to bring your chat up, and I'm sure I'm going to answer you. So I'm so sorry for not answering. It's not intentional. Except, of course, you just sent me a message and say, "Hey, DIY, you're crazy." That's the only one I won't respond to. Okay, so let's take another one. Let's take another one. We still have a couple of minutes to go. Ooh, I don't quite understand the age. I don't know, maybe, okay, maybe my 10 weeks old. If it is 10 weeks old or 18, I don't know. But if your layers stop eating as they used to do before, then something must be wrong. Something must be wrong. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, DIY Agric. Okay, so if they stop eating like they eat before, something must be wrong. And I want to ask you, did you change the feed? If you change the feed, you should let us know, because if it is 10 weeks, I don't think that's a time to change feed. If it is 7 weeks, I would say maybe changing of feed. But if you change the feed, just let me know. If not, maybe they are incubating a particular disease and it's stressing them on the inside, it's taking away their appetite. I don't know if you have given multivitamins in the course of that. I don't know if they are responding to cold. Maybe the environment is too cold. Maybe you should watch the litter. If you have given them all the comfort that they need, this is raining season in most parts. So if you have given them all the comforts that they need, then you should watch out for a disease. It may be a disease that is incubating. So also try to give them multivitamins to encourage them to eat. And even though I don't like to promote brands, but Miavite is a good multivitamin for layers, and it works good. Works good. So just let me know if you have to respond to my comments in any way. All right. The WhatsApp number you say is not clear. Okay. It's just 07064953738. I'll take it again. 07064953738. 64953738. And I think I have something to do to that. I'll just stop it from scrolling. Yeah. Okay, so that's it on the screen. I believe it's clearer now. Okay, so let's take another question. If we have any other question, please bring in your questions. DIY Agric is here to answer you, your number one animal scientist and your poultry success partner. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Don't forget, I still have a gift to give to 1, 2, or 3 persons before the end of the stream. And that gift is going to be a free access to the organic poultry course that I've talked about. And I might even consider putting you in my next poultry feed formulation masterclass. So just hang on. I have something for you before we close the session, and the session should be closing anytime from 10 minutes time. So let's enjoy the rest of the live stream. All right, so is there any other question for us here? Yeah, for everyone who has sent messages after this live stream, I'm just going to go back on WhatsApp and check them. So try to send me another message right now so that I can see them quickly. Sometimes you can't blame us. Sometimes it's just because there are so many messages to attend to, and in the midst of the activities that I also engage in. So it's not because I just want to ignore you. Uh, I try as much as possible to be available, but sometimes we are overwhelmed and you know. Okay, so I'm trying to pick another question. Okay, this person is asking if we can administer vaccine to local chickens. Yeah, you can. You can. And you are saying when they are already grown, of course, you still can. You still can. You still can administer vaccines. It's just that the schedule will not be like the regular schedule that you follow, but ensure that you give them vaccine against Newcastle disease and Gumboro disease most importantly. And there's a thing with these two, you need to give them repeat doses. Maybe after the first one, you can just give them after about 2 weeks. You give them the repeat doses, and you can be giving them once in a while uh, if they are going to stay long. You can give them once in a while, maybe every 3 months or so. But generally, local chickens are more adapted to our environment and they are rugged. Yeah. Okay. So we'll take more questions. We're trying to take more questions. More questions. Please bring them on. I'm here to answer them. Okay, this person has an interesting question here. My brothers has CRD. It affected their growth. Of course, anything respiratory will like stress and choke your birds, and they will not be able to eat as they used to eat. I'm sure this person is going to tell us that the feed is not going down as it used to go down. So it's not as if, yeah, they will not also convert as efficient as they used to convert before, but more importantly, they will not eat as much as they used to eat before. So it's almost 6 weeks. Some are looking like 2 weeks. Yeah, I've given them tylosin, not good. How do I prevent moving forward? Okay, now you are not even going to prevent. You are of especially okay, except maybe you are selling this one off just like that. So you are not just going to prevent, you have to treat these ones first. So I don't know the tylosin you have given them. Tylosin is in grade. You know, we have most of the drugs have 20% tylosin and coupled with another, maybe doxycycline for as in Tylodox. So maybe it's a combination of tylosin and another active ingredient. But you might want to consider 100% tylosin or other medications, or maybe you want to try our wonderful organic poultry medication for CRD. It works like so, it's good. So it's just if you have used 20% tylosin, you may want to try 100% tylosin, or just switch drugs switch to another one that has another active ingredient. There are drugs that have bromexin. Bromexin also works for um CRD. It helps to clear the mucus, that sound, that crack or cracking sound. It comes from um, the mucus in the lining, the mucus. So it clears it, it takes it down. And you may want to give ACV to just help make the area healthy. So there's a lot that you can do in organic poultry actually. So you may want to just change. And if you're talking about the next batch, then if you want to prevent, I think it is good to start the treatment before you start seeing the signs. So start after anytime from 10 days, you start preventing, and don't stress them. Stress is one major thing that brings out the activity or the negative side of mycoplasma, which causes CRD in your birds. So don't stress your broilers. It is a taboo. It's a taboo. Okay, this person is saying I've not answered our question, so I'm trying to see where our question is hiding now. Oh, I can't see your question, Christopher Mercy. Okay, I've seen it. What's the cause of wound on the broilers and how do I tackle it? So I'm into organic. Thanks, sir. Well, I wouldn't know the particular. Maybe you should send me a picture on WhatsApp. I think that should help. You can send me a picture on WhatsApp. So let's see how it looks. That's how I can tell what the wound is. And if it's a general problem, is it happening to just a couple of broilers or all of them? So let me see. Let me also see if they have feather on them. And I would like to ask you, maybe when we talk privately, I'd like to ask you if you do allow feed to finish in their feeder, and for how long do you allow that? There's a couple of things that can cause wound, and if you have ectoparasites around them. So let's just talk. Okay, so this is an interesting question. And I think after now, if I am able to take one or two, then I should go on to what I want to use to take 3 persons into my organic poultry course. I'm going to give 3 persons, maybe one, maybe two, maybe three, free access to my organic poultry course. So before that, let's quickly take a few more questions. So please, I gave my broilers crumble at starter stage, but couldn't get pellets. At finisher stage, okay, couldn't get pellet at finisher stage, and their consumption rate dropped. But okay, please, what do you advise? I don't know what you gave them when you could not see pellet at finisher stage. Did you give them crumble still, and is the crumble starter, or did you give them mash just because you didn't see finisher in pellet form? So let's just know. Let's know. Let's know, because we need to know what you gave them. Is it still finisher feed, but just not crumble or not pellets? So I think we need to know that before I can answer that question. Okay, this is another interesting question that actually touches on the topic for tonight, which is vaccination in poultry. So, should Gomboro and Lasota be given together? Actually, this is possible and people do it. People do it. As a matter of fact, when Gomboro and Lasota are given in the hatchery, it is combined. For example, I don't like mentioning brands, but Agrited, there's a line of their broilers that they call vaccinated or double vaccinated. So you will see a sticker on the carton. It says NDIBD. So that is ND is Newcastle disease, and IBD is infectious um, bronchitis disease, or what am I saying? Bossa disease. So the IBD is Gumboro, ND is Lasota. So they have given the two combined, apart from Marex, which must have been given, even though it is not written on the carton. Marex must have been given, so they give those two combined. However, on your farm, don't forget that these ones are coming from the egg. They are pretty clean, without any, maybe they also go through some level of stress within the artery, moving from one place to another, from one machine to another. They are thrown. As a matter of fact, if you see how they are handled, you might want to pity them. So, but they have limited exposure to foreign agents. So maybe that's why they are able to handle that at that stage. Some people still do it even while raising the birds, but it is not advisable because our environments are actually prone to, pathogens. So chicks are exposed to pathogens more than we can know or recognize. So it's better to just limit the stress that we are inducing, because vaccines are actually stressors. So it's better to limit it. All right. So I wouldn't advise that you give it together. That's the conclusion. I wouldn't advise that you give it together. Let's just split it. Let's take it step after step. Yeah, this particular one says, how long does it take before vaccination begins to take effect on birds? Yeah. If you ask those who have had vaccine failure on their farm, they will be able to tell you better than I can, because they will tell you that within the first 12 hours, you will start to see the effect of the vaccine that you have given. So if you are having vaccine failure, for example, your birds may start to die even 6 hours after you have given the vaccine. Immediately you give the vaccine, the activities of antibody and the antigen. The antigen is that foreign agent. It starts within 1 hour plus. It starts. So the body begins to recognize, and the every process that needs to go on begins. So, and most of the time when you even give it, if you are somebody that knows or observes chickens very well, you will notice that most of them will relax after a couple of hours. That same day, most of them will relax. Their activity during that day will be reduced. If they are prone to jumping up and down before, most of them will calm down because they'll feel strange. They'll feel strange. So, if that is what you mean by effect, but if it is the protection, the complete protection that they can get from that vaccine, then it varies across vaccine types, even vaccine brands. Yeah. So some can be within 6 hours, within 12 hours. Some they will say after 48 hours, the effective protection or the protection has been effected. So it varies across vaccine types and brands. Okay. Wow, I want to believe we are having a good time. If you think we are having a good time, please don't forget to hit that like button. It's very important. And in case I've not mentioned this, my birthday is on the 19th of this month. So my birthday is coming soon. And, by God's grace, we are going to be celebrating together, and it's going to be awesome. All right, so let's see if I will have something special to bring up before that day to celebrate with you guys. Okay, so we have another question here. Let me just put it up before reading. Okay, so it says, so please, for my birds that are 1 week and 4 days old, they feed too much, which is consuming my money as a new poultry starter. Is there any means I can starve them like 1 to 2 hours at least to save feed? Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for wishing me happy birthday in advance. God bless you. Okay, so if they are broilers, and they are just 1 week and 4 days, I don't think you need to starve them. It is garbage in, garbage out, my brother. I don't believe, yeah. So if you don't starve them, they will grow, and the growth will pay back. But if you starve them, they may not grow as you expect. Yeah. So it's better from day 1 to 3 weeks. I don't think you should starve them. If at all you want to do so, just do it in the night, maybe 1 to 2 hours, as you have said. So during that time that they are resting, it's still good. We are still 1 week, 4 days. So why don't you wait till after 2 weeks before you start to implement that? So it's quite early. I want you to maximize the first 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks actually, because they have conversion. The rate at which they convert feed in this time is crazy. It's so crazy. So they convert really well during this time. So you can be giving them that rest later when their conversion is dropping, when the rate of conversion is dropping. And even during that time, they're able to take good amount of feed per time. So in their crop is full and it can take a couple of hours. You can have 3 hours break and they are fine. But when they are still young, just like babies, they eat from time to time, from time to time. They suckle the mother's breast from time to time. So I think you should still endure. Just endure. It's garbage in, garbage out, and I'm sure, and by God's grace, you're going to get your money back in good time. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Everyone is now sending their happy birthday message. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So, is there any other question before we wrap it up and before I bring on what I want to use to like bless 1, 2, or 3 persons with free entry into my organic poultry course? Yeah. So, should I put up? Okay, let me try to put up while I wait for a couple of questions more. I think I want to take this session to 1 hour, maybe 15 minutes. So we then close it from there. So let me bring up I want to try to bring up the course curriculum so that I can let me show it to you guys so you see how rich it is. I know a couple of people here must have attended the course, and I'm sure that they have enjoyed every bit of it. So we have 10 modules. Let me try to bring it up. I'm trying to bring it up. Okay. Ooh. All right. A moment, please. Let me share my screen. Okay, so that's it on the screen. This is what we have for our organic poultry course. I would like to take this question out for now. And my phone number. I want to believe everyone who needs the number has copied it. So this is what we have for the organic poultry course. It's loaded. Trust me, it is loaded. It is loaded. When I say loaded, I mean loaded. Is there a way I can zoom in for okay, so in case you are seeing it, I believe you should see it clearly. So it says organic poultry course, and you can see the curriculum. We have the module 1, organic poultry benefits and opportunities that you have. A couple of people have taken this and it has transformed their business. So sometimes what you even get on the first day, the insights you get can transform your business, and you may even decide to not raise chicken again and start to do something in the value chain you get. So, and number 2, we get to talk about how to select the best chicken breed for maximum output. Yeah. And on the 3rd day, we talk about even how, okay, let me just increase the screen size. Okay. So 3rd day, we tend to talk about how to make cheap and inexpensive chick feeder. I want to tell you, somebody, or not even one, a couple of persons have actually started selling out this feeder design. Yeah, they are doing it on their farm. I have people who have 1,000 chickens and they are using that feeder on their farm. Some even have over 1,000 and they are using that feeder. It's so good. and very effective. Maybe you have seen it on my YouTube channel, luckily. So it's also there. And that's one of the reasons why you want to subscribe if you are yet to do so. So there's a lot there already, but this course is going to bring it to you live and direct. Okay, so I talk about common diseases, science, prevention, control with herbs and spices. We are treating them not with tylosin, not with tetracycline, not with sulfur and all those drugs, They're using pure herbs and spices. So I'm also going to talk to you on biosecurity. Yeah, how to say no to diseases from scratch. Yeah, it's a broad topic, and I think I've done justice to it in the way that you should get it right. Okay, so module 4, we talk about voucher for odor control, ammonia eradication, also how to build your voucher making machine, voucher production process, voucher uses. That voucher topic, once we started, you're like, wow, wow, wow. Trust me, this is not me trying to exaggerate things. Yeah, it is just wow. Trust me, it's just wow. All right, so let me just scroll through 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Okay, yeah. So module 5, we talk about odorless maggot production. Okay, broiler growth booster production, egg booster production, artificial insemination in poultry. Yeah, in case you have turkeys and they are so massive, that's the imported turkey, you can learn how to do artificial insemination. So 6, we talk about lab without milk, how to produce liquid smoke. Wow. Yeah, I think I also have that video on YouTube, and it's actually so great. And you're going to learn everything we use liquid smoke to do here. That's one thing I don't talk about I didn't talk about in that video I did about liquid smoke. So its uses and benefits, how to stop termites from invading your farm, natural feed and growth promoter, like no other. Yeah, this is awesome. So module 7, hydroponics. Then how to prevent fungal growth in hydroponics. Bonus feed formula for broilers, layers, noilers, and turkey. You're gonna have feed formula. Feed formula. Just take it and go use it, and it works for you. So it's added to an advanced class, which is module 8, 9, and 10. And in module 8, we talk about the miracle combo that I use when I'm lazy. Yeah. So there are times that you are just lazy, you feel like, wow, oh, before I start to combine all these things. So there's a miracle combo that you can actually just run to and it works for you. You can even have it waiting for you for months. It doesn't spoil. So it's good, and it's good that you have access to it and you know how to use it. So what I have not told you about the bamboo, that's like a coded one there. I'm not going to elaborate on that. So how to handle, biofilm and water line. We need to service our poultry water line, the nipple drinker, even the bell drinkers. There's a particular way to handle it in order not to give yourself problems. So some diseases can spread through that. So 9, we talk about fish farming. Yeah, that's just an added part to it. Fish farming and then fish processing. And 10, we talk about chicken processing, how to set up both small and big chicken processing business. Oh God, this is so loaded, and you also have access to. It's like this course is too rich. I feel like breaking it into 3 different courses. Wow. Okay, so you also have access to my books, 3 books that are worth 8,500 naira combined together, and this is going to be coming for you. It's going to be coming to you for free as a bonus once you take this course. That is just 7,500 naira. So I know for sure tonight not everyone is going to win uh the giveaway. Yeah, it's more like a giveaway I'm doing tonight. I'm going to be giving 1, 2, or 3 persons free access, but not everyone is going to win that. So you may want to join the course platform, and that's the number to reach out to on WhatsApp. Okay, so let's take a couple of questions now, and I'm just going to be ending the live stream in a couple of minutes. So be ready to take your free entry into the course platform. Oh, thank you so much, everyone sending their birthday wishes. I thank you. I'm grateful. Okay. Okay, let's quickly address this. Please, my brothers are gasping for hair. How do I treat them? You want to watch out if it is CRD or pneumonia. I think it was a live stream I had. I talked elaborately on pneumonia and CRD. So you might want to check my live stream. Okay, let me see if I can help you with that quickly. Live stream on pneumonia. Yeah, I got it. I got it here. Shareable link. Okay, so just for the person asking about that, just see the comment section. I just posted the link there now. So you want to check the link. What's wrong with the network? I want to believe that it's going to go through. Oh. What's my internet connection saying? Yeah, the link is true now. Okay, so that's the link to that live stream where I talked about both CRD and pneumonia. So you may want to check it for you that you're having problem with chicks gasping for air. Okay, so good evening, sir. Please, I wish to. Oh, this is if you have taken the course or if you have the book, you just know. So it's not just cayenne pepper that we use for the treatment of Newcastle disease. As a matter of fact, the main role of cayenne pepper, I would say it encourages them to heat and helps them in the recovery process. So it is added to a couple of other things. So it's a full combination that you need, not just what measure of cayenne pepper you should add. So sorry, I would not be able to attend to that. Okay, so how do I allow 1, 2, or 3 persons to have free access to the organic poultry course? All right, so I would ask one question now, and let's see who's going to get it first. One question now, and let's see who's going to get it first. One question now, and let's see who's going to get it first. One question now, and let's see who's going to get it first. Okay, so I'm going to bring this particular question. It was a question that was asked a long time ago, and I think somebody was able to get it right. Put multivitamins aside, put everything aside. What do you think is important to I want to make it simple. I want to make it simple. I want to make it simple. Okay, what is that basic thing that your chickens need to be healthy? Apart from vaccine, apart from medications, it's just simple. I've made it very simple actually. What is that thing that they need to be healthy? To not immunity now, not their immune system. This particular answer will also help their immune system. So, what is that thing that your chickens need to be healthy? Yeah, first answer, and you first person to give the right answer, and you have straight access to my organic poultry course. Yeah. Okay, I'm saying correct temperature, no. Good management practice, no. Proper management, no. Electrolytes, no. The thing is basic. It's basic. Nobody needs to go anywhere to get it. Nobody needs to. It's basic. It's basic, but you are the one to give them. It's basic. Cleaning the pen 3 days interval. Nope. 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 Don't worry. You can drop your answers as many answers as you want. The comfort zone, no. The comfort zone experience, even though I love that statement, but that's not it for now. Thank you, Mrs. Yetunde. Yeah, this is the answer. No, 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 that one, no, that one. Yeah, yeah, good feed. That's just it. Good feed. Because if you don't eat well, you're going to fall sick. You will lack nutrients. You will lack all these things. The immune system works with proteins, and amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So amino acids and all these things come from the food that they eat. Even multivitamin is part of food. So it is just good feed. So if you have not taken my organic poultry course before, you have free access to it right now. And if you have taken it before, you are going to get a refund. So that's it. You have just won the first entry. First entry. So I'd like you to please type your phone number here so that I'll store it so that somebody else will not come and claim your slot. Okay, so please type your phone number here. Type it here and let me just copy it out. All right. So I'm going to ask another question. I think I should give up to 3 people free access. 3 people free access. 3, and this one would actually help me to know who is a loyal follower of DIY Agric. Yeah. Okay, so I'm waiting for your phone number, or if there's any other way you want to do it. Maybe you have, if your email has your name in it, you can just send me an email on diyagric@gmail.com. Let it be as quickly as possible. You're welcome, ma. Okay, so I would like to take the second one now. Let's see who's going to get in. Let's see who is the second person to get free access into the organic poultry course. And if you are there already, you get a full refund of 7,500 naira. All right, so what should the second question be? All right, very simple. I'll see if you have been following DIY Agric. So what's the topic of my last video, of the last video published? The first person to answer correctly gets free access to the organic poultry course platform. What's the topic of the last video I published? That should be about 3 days ago, 3 days and 7 hours ago. Okay, so the last topic, we're waiting for the answer to that. While I expect I'm also waiting for the email from our winner. Waiting for the email right away. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting. Oh, okay, let me throw in some background music now. And let's have some fun. Yeah. Okay, I think this person got it. Herbal mixture? No, no. Is that it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that is it. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so this is another winner we got here. Mr. Kenneth Justus. Herbal mixture that is 10 times more effective. So that's another winner we have there. Okay, so if you're comfortable, if you're okay with sending your phone number, just quickly type it right here so I can have it penned down. Or you send an email to, okay, I've got the first email from the first winner. So just send an email to diyagric@gmail.com. It's important that the email, yeah, I've seen the email. I'll add that number. So send an email to diyagric@gmail.com and add your phone number, the phone number. And you should also try to download Telegram if you don't have it already, because that is the course platform. Download Telegram to your phone so that I can just add you straight away. So make sure you are sending the number that you'll be using on the Telegram platform through that email. All right, so I think there's one more free slot to go. One more free slot. I think the answer is taken. The answer of the last question is taken already, so you don't need to answer that again. And we should just take okay, what's the last question gonna be? I think I should bring that from the last question. Okay, I'm gonna ask the last question now. Okay, list four factors that affect the efficiency of vaccine. 4 factors that affect the efficiency of vaccine. So let's see how well we have learned from this section. 4 factors that affect the efficiency of poultry vaccine. Yeah. 4 factors. Just make sure you put everything together before you send it. Don't send 1, 2, 3, 4. We are not going to put that together for you. Just make sure you send it together as one single response or a single response. Okay, so 4 factors that affect the efficiency of your vaccine. 4 factors. All right, we're waiting. That means we are going to end this live stream at around 1:30 hours. 4 factors. Ooh. Where are the brilliant students? Okay. 4 factors. I think I gave 5. I think I gave 5 factors, if I'm correct. And even if it is just 4 I expect us to be able to download everything. Okay. So this is a school of poultry, so it would not be out of place if you jot down what you're learning. All right. So I'm expecting. And Mr. Kenneth. All right. So I got your email too, Mr. Kenneth. All right. So I'm going to add you up to the platform. So we're waiting for one person to join. The first answer is not correct. And the person answering again, the first answer, okay, should I put up? No, let me not put it up. The first answer is not correct. The second answer is not correct. The third answer is not correct. The second answer is partially correct. The person says, no, I shouldn't say it. Okay, we're having a good time. Don't forget to hit the like button if you are yet to do so, and also click on that subscribe button if you are maybe joining us for the first time or you never subscribed to the channel. So this is DIY Agric, your number 1 animal scientist and your poultry success partner. Does it mean somebody just got it now? No. The person actually got 2. Another person got 2 out of... Oh, this person got... No. No, this person almost got it but didn't get it. Okay, this one says 1, 2. Correct. We got a winner. Oh, no. The person did not win. Maybe you should check what you have sent and just resend. There's a spelling error, and the spelling error is just crucial. We cannot take that. So if you think you got it, just check, especially the first response. So you need to check it and just correct it. Wow, somebody else has taken it. Somebody else has taken it from you. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, jeez. Okay, somebody else just got it now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Somebody else got it, but down. No, is that what I was trying to put up? No. Oh. Okay. You guys are giving me a tough time here. Oh God. It's either you are missing one spelling. Oh God. Okay. Nah. Okay. I think I'll have to do something right now. Okay, this will be fair. This will be fair, actually. This is going to be fair. Now let's look at it, and I'm going to be closing the response to that particular answer. So no response is taken again. No response is taken again. Mr. Olaleke Abayomi is the last one I'll be taking, and I'll just do something. So there's more like a competition. I want to use this as a tie. So I'm going to give you guys a mini competition right now. So you guys should be ready to take the competition, and I'm going to be mentioning your names. So I'm going to be putting your response on the screen, so you know why I'm not just going to take your answer right away. So this person has said, yeah, I've seen your email, ma. I've seen your email, Mrs. Yetunde Akingbe. So I've seen your email. I'm going to add you after the session. So as for this one says stress, immunity, vaccine handling, poor weather. So weather is part of it, vaccine handling is part of it, stress is part of it, immunity is passive immunity. Passive immunity. So Mr. Olaleke, be ready for the next competition between you and I think 3 other persons. Then Mr. Ridwan, you would have been the one to just win it straight off. But then health status of the check-in was what you wrote, check-in instead of chicken. So you wrote passive immunity, right? Stress, correct. Weather, correct. But health status of the chicken. In fact, if you have said health status, I would have assumed that you're talking about chickens. But this one you said check-in. So the spelling was wrong. And you have to get ready for the next competition, which is just very easy. You don't have to even think to do it. Okay, so this other person, Mr. Alobo Emmanuel, says weather, health of birds, vaccine dilution, floor space. So floor space can actually have an effect, but it's not part of what I talked about, and it doesn't really have solid ground here. Vaccine dilution, of course, and it's very good, but we did not mention it. So you two should be ready for the next competition. And then who is the next person? This person also said something: stress in birds, concurrent disease, immaturity in birds, improper route of administration. So I'm going to be putting you also in the competition. So Zini Krimi, Alobo Emmanuel, Ridwan, Umar, and Wiggin, and I think I added Godwin Michael. Yeah, Godwin Michael. No. Godwin Michael came in later. Olaleke is where we stopped. Olaleke, Ridwan Umar, Alobo Emmanuel, and Zinikrimi. So 4 of you. What I'm gonna do for you guys, just so I'm fair, so that somebody will not say, okay, just because of one spelling, because none of you got it perfectly right. So the first of you to send your detail to my email diyagric@gmail.com will be the one to win that slot. So I have 3 persons. I've got the details of 2 already. So the first person of the 3 of you, so to put in, okay, as you can see, these are the 2 emails I got earlier. Yeah, so I'm waiting for yours. Yeah, these are the 2 emails I got earlier. So I'm waiting for yours. The first of you, and everyone is going to see it now. The first of you to put your number, to put your details in my email, diyagric@gmail.com, will win the next slot, and that will be the end of today's live stream. So don't forget, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, just hit the subscribe button. And one way to always be notified of this live stream is by clicking on the notification bell and then selecting all. You not only click the notification bell, you also select all as your choice. None of them is coming through yet. Your email, send an email to diyagric@gmail.com. I'm waiting. So if you're here to hit the like button, I want to believe that I have given value tonight, and this is one of the reasons why there is a school of poultry that you can always come and learn something new. And the thing that we have discussed today is actually important, and I believe none of us would fail in vaccine administration again. None of us will fail in vaccine administration. Is impactful. It's one great topic we talked about tonight, and this is just a quick rundown. We define vaccination, and that is what we have on the screen right now. And I think let me also know in the comment section if you want me to be sharing the slides that I showed during the live session. If you want me to be sending it to you guys, maybe I can just be providing a form that you can fill your email. So I just forward the or maybe I just drop the link to the slide on the live stream so that you can all have access to it, maybe subsequent ones. So let me know in the comment section if that's a good idea. If you would like to have the slides like this, let me know in the comment section. So we talk about the forms of vaccine, the live ones, the killed ones. I explained everything. So you can always go through the live session. The video is going to be available for you after now. So factors affecting the vaccine efficiency, I asked for 4 out of 5. So I mentioned health status of the chickens, weather, passive immunity, vaccine handling during cold storage, and then stress. Okay, so I believe the 3rd email should have come in. Like none of these people wants to win. Okay, no problem. So I'll be waiting. That should not keep all of us waiting. I'll be expecting. I just wanted it to be a fair choice so that I can choose it right here. But then if they don't send it now, I'd have to be the one to check them in myself. So passive immunity, vaccine handling, and all that. And then we dealt with them individually, and it's just a wonderful experience right here. And please make sure that you click that like button, because I believe I have given value to someone out there, and our farming experience should be better after now. So once again, this is DIY Agric, your #1 animal scientist and your poultry success partner. It's been 1 hour 40 minutes with you, and every bit of it counts. So thank you all for joining this particular session. we'll be coming together again on Friday. But before then, I'll be sure to put 1 or 2 videos across to you in the course of the week. So I think one email just came in and I think Ridwan Umar is the winner. Okay, so Ridwan Umar won the contest and he's yet to send his phone number, and that is what I'm going to be adding to the poultry feed formulation to the organic poultry course. So that's what I'm going to be adding. So in case any other person wants to join the organic poultry course platform, just feel free to WhatsApp the number on the screen, and I'm also going to be taking you a step further by just providing you with a link that you can you can use to just join the platform directly instead of having to chat me up and all that. So there's a way to actually get this thing done, and you just join the course platform directly. So I'm going to be sending the link now in the comment section so we can join. And in case you are watching this live stream and you are patient enough to stay to the end, you are watching the replay, then you are a special person. So you will be meeting this link in the description of the video. All right, so thank you so much for joining. 1 hour 41 minutes, and it's just wonderful with you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.